finished us.
Storm in the third quarter seemed to be 90, 91. How hard was it for you guys to block those guys? It seemed like he had almost no time there in the second half.
Yeah, well, the plan was just to be balanced and keep them from just being able to pin their ears back and smell blood in the water. And we did a really good job of managing that. When we got down 2 scores, we became a little bit more one-dimensional. We still wanted to make an effort to run the football, but they knew and we both knew that we were going to have to throw the ball to get back in the game, and that's when it really unraveled on us. And it's difficult given the front they play. It's difficult to get your tackles help on the edge against guys like that, and they made it very difficult on us. They're great players. Tony Salazar is the best defensive coordinator in the state of Texas, and maybe next to ours. Ours does a really good job too. Maybe they're the 2 best in the state of Texas. And, and he did a great job scheming us there in the second half.
Did you feel like they were able to wear your defense down a little bit in the second half and able to break a couple of big plays?
Yeah, well, I think, clearly coming out of halftime, their goal was to run the football and try to run right at us. And they've got the massive offensive line, 2 good backs, and, they had success doing that. And, yeah, we got a little bit tired, I think, in the second half.
Jackson, how are you better, not necessarily physically, but mentally as a junior compared to when you had to play in this game 2 years ago?
I think 2 years ago it was kind of just a situation I was thrown into, no preparation for it at all. I think kind of this whole year, kind of leading the team, definitely prepared me for a game like this.
To piggyback off of that, you said, you're a little bit more mentally there. You're more of a leader on this team. Has the game slowed down for you compared to when you were kind of thrown into that moment from 2 years ago?
It's definitely, especially after that state championship game, I kind of noticed against Hebron the next year, everything just seemed kind of slower pace, just because I'm more mentally focused,
Coach, I'm sure there's a lot of things that you can point to that you're proud of for your team, but can you talk a little bit about Jackson and how he performed tonight, and especially early on, moving the chains, not only throwing the ball, but getting out of some really tough situations in the backfield to scramble for first downs, keep the chains moving. I mean, it seemed like for a good stretch there, it was all on his shoulders to keep the chains moving, and he did a fantastic job.
Well, part of our goal is to give him the opportunity. A lot of the times it may look a little bit like a scramble, but a lot of the times it's a post-snap decision. We've got a place to throw it, and if the throw's no good, then we run it. We're blocking a scheme up front, running it. And so he just did a great job tonight making decisions. Sometimes when he threw the ball, sometimes when he pulled it and ran it. Did a great job of making decisions and then moving the chains.
Just talk about how you guys were able to bounce back from that block early on and get in the game and take a lead.
Yeah, so, we've been resilient all year. We've been in some tight spots before where, again, the tide sort of stemmed against us, and it has not affected us all year. So I love the demeanor of our sideline after that happened. Nobody was shaken by it. Nobody was hanging their head. Nobody was griping. It was just a ripple in the water, and we just kept on moving it. And I was really proud of the fact that just a few minutes later we're up in the game 7-6.
Coach, this was Todd Dodge's last game. I'm sure you've seen him and known him for a long time. Your thoughts of his accomplishments?
Well, you could probably count on one hand the number of high school coaches in the state of Texas, in the history of high school football in Texas, that have had the impact on the game that Coach Dodge has had. And, in his time at South Lake and his time at Westlake, really unparalleled. And he's made the game of football in Texas, he's changed it for the better. He's made it a better game for the career that he's had.
A minute ago you were just talking about how a lot of your plays was either a decision for Jackson to throw it or run it. Can you talk about the trust that you've got in your quarterback and just how much it means to you to have him back for one more year and be able to have that relationship with him for another year?
Well, he's such a good decision maker. We want to put the decision in his hands as much as we can. And you have to have a lot of trust in your quarterback to give him that responsibility. But there's really nothing that we're not willing to let him read on the field.
Coach, first time here in the finals for you as a head coach. I mean, was it everything that you thought it was going to be? I mean, I know the outcome didn't work out the way it be, but it had to be a nice build-up for this.
Absolutely. We talked with our kids about there's a 100% chance the experience was going to be awesome, but the game is separate from the experience. We want the game to be awesome as well. So it's a bittersweet thing right now. It was a great experience. The opportunity to play in this game, the opportunity to put a silver medal around your neck is awesome. and we're going to be very proud. We're going to have a lot of great memories of this moment. But at the same time, we expected to come out and win the game tonight. We're disappointed by that. We will be for a while, but we're going to get over it, and we're going to have a lot of great memories to look back on.
Jackson, can you speak to the counter-punch aspect of the majority of this game, and just your mentality is, Westlake scores, you go right down and score again, same thing happens, back and forth sort of game there.
Yeah, we knew we had to fight, and it was going to be a close game, and we couldn't give up either. So as soon as they scored, especially coming out of halftime, we knew that we had to drive the ball down the field and go score again just to keep it a close game.
Jackson, obviously you said 2 years ago, just kind of thrown into the water into this game, but what does it mean to get back to it with your teammates this season?
It meant everything. That's all we worked for this year. That's all we preached this year. Every time we broke out with a team, it was state champs on 3. So it just meant everything to get back to this game.
What does it mean to you that you played like a star tonight instead of your freshman year where no one said a nice thing about you?
I don't think I played like a star tonight, but I think I feel better knowing that I played a lot better than I did 2 years ago. So.
Coach, from your vantage point, did Westlake do anything different schematically in the second half to get Jaden Greathouse open, because he really ripped the top off the game in the second half?
I'm not really sure if I have a good answer. I'd have to go back and watch the film. We gave him a lot of single coverage tonight. We had to load the box, and we had to play. We're very talented in the back end, but we're not a big man cover team. A lot of people think we are. We're not a big risk-taking team in the back end. We had to be tonight. We had to play a lot of man coverage. And I just think, over the course of time, a player of his caliber is going to get loose and make a few plays. I think the last touchdown, our corner tripped and fell. That's one of the downsides of playing man coverage. You trip and fall, and it's over. So, quarterback made some great throws, by the way, too. Really did. 2 best quarterbacks I've seen all year playing in this game tonight.
Thank you, guys. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes.